Welcome to Maths Solution. We are still in the Quadratic Equation series, and for our lesson today we shall be talking about roots of quadratic equation, and the A part of the first example is on the board. Now the question says one of the roots of the quadratic of the equation x squared plus kx minus 15 is 3. Find the value of k and the other root. Now, how do we approach this question? The first thing to note is this: when we say the roots of a quadratic equation, we are referring to the solution we arrive at when we solve a quadratic equation. Now, usually the root of a quadratic equation is in two. It has two roots. That is, every quadratic equation has two roots. So on the board you will see that the first root is given to us as 3. We do not know the other root. So how do we represent this? We can use the Greek letter alpha to equals 3. So when we say alpha equals to 3, we are referring to the first root. Now the second root, we can use the Greek letter beta, and because we do not know what the second root is, we are going to put our question mark there. Now if you check the question here says find the value of k. So not only are we looking for the second root, we are also to look for the value of k. So we do not know the value of k, so we'll put a question mark there. Now, how do we solve this problem? How do we get the value of k and the other root? The key to answering this question lies in the quadratic equation itself. Here we are told that the quadratic equation is x squared plus kx minus 15. What does this mean? Let's come down to this place. Let me write out something here. We know that the general form of any quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is the general form of every quadratic equation. Now, what does the a, b, and c represent? The a you see here represents the coefficient of x squared, and by coefficient we mean the number in front of x squared. Now the b you see here represents the coefficient of x, and the c you see here is the constant term. It is a number that may have that just be an honorary number, or it could have any other alphabet attached to it. So what are we going to do with our a, b, and c? If you compare what I just said now to this equation, you will see that a in this given equation here is what? 1. Why is it 1? There's actually an invisible 1 in front of x squared. So the coefficient of x squared here, which represents a, must give us 1. Then we move over to the b, which is the coefficient of x, and in the equation here you see that it is plus k. So we can say our b is equals to k, and then for the value of c, if you compare that to this equation here, you will see that c is equals to what? Minus 15. So that is how you get the value of a, b, and c. Please let me wipe this one out, write it off. So now what do we do with this? Where do we go from here? The next thing we are going to do at this point is to come over to this side. I think what I'm about to introduce next, we have sum of roots equals to. Now this is the next step we are going to write. After we've listed out all the values we are looking for and what we are given to look for it, the next step in solving this kind of question is to take the sum of roots, and for the sum of roots we have minus b upon a. That is the formula for the sum of roots. Now what do we mean by the sum of roots? It means, don't forget what I told you about the quadratic equation. It has two roots. Now from what we have here, the first root is 3, and sum means addition. Then the next root we do not know, which is what? Beta. The next thing we are going to write is to write that the formula minus sign here. Then for our b, from what we have here, b corresponds to k, so we'll write our k. Then upon a corresponds to what? 1. So if you actually write here as 1, this is still the same thing as minus k. So that is what you will arrive at. Now the next step we are going to take is the product of roots. And for the product of roots, the formula we use there is c upon a. Now by product of roots, we mean we are multiplying the two roots together. So that is to say, we say 3 multiplied by beta, and then our c is minus what? 15. Then if we divide minus 15 by a is 1, so it is good as the way we just write it here, we'll just leave it this way, minus 15 upon 1 is still the same thing as minus 15. So we can leave this one out like this. So what do we do here now? We have to divide everything here by 3 so that we can arrive at a value for beta, which is the other root, as minus what? Minus 5. So if you divide minus 15 by 3, you will arrive at minus 5. So the other root is what? Minus 5. Now what we are left to do is to get the value for k, and the way we can get the value for k is from what we wrote here. Don't forget, at this point here we have 3 plus beta to equals minus k. So we know the value for beta as minus 5. That is the result we just obtained from here. So here equals to what? Minus k. Now if you simplify this, you are going to have 3 plus minus is what? Minus what? 5. Everything equals to what? Minus k. So if you simplify this, let's take this unknown value, this variable, let's bring it here, which is minus k, equals, now 3 minus 5 will give us minus 2. Now since we are having a negative sign on the left and a negative side on the right side, both negative sign will cancel out each other, and the final answer for k will become 2. Hence the result for this problem on the board is that the other root, which is b, is minus 5, and then we have the value for k to equals 2. So that is the answer for this particular question. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please join me in my next lesson. And how do you know when the video will be released? Just hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when the video comes out. We do release video every week. And also, please, if you have not subscribed, do so. Like this video and also comment. Leave a comment in the comment box and I will get back to you. Thank you for your time. I will see you in my next lesson.